Classic Hits TV from Dave and Camille in the morning.
So the first time we heard this guy's name, it was shouted at us from our television. They went, Reece Mastin! And here he is. How are you, boss?
Hey man, I'm good.
Good to have you here in Wellington.
Yeah, well, I know that this is your third time in Wellington, and when it comes to being back in a city that you've been to before, is it easier? Do you go, oh yeah, I've been here, this is good, I know where that coffee place is? Do you feel more at home?
A little bit. We went out for dinner last night, and I knew a few places I wanted to go, but I think I got to come about 4 or 5 times before I kind of settle in properly.
Okay, well that sounds like an invite, so we'll take you again, maybe another 2 more times?
Yeah. I'm keen, if you're keen.
While we're talking getting settled into places, you've just recently bought your first home. Can we talk about when you signed those papers and now being a homeowner? Does that mean that you have to be a grown-up? Because I own a home and I'm not a grown-up.
Well, I was living in a rented place with Rhiannon, and I just wanted something that was mine, so we were looking at a few places, and yeah, it's just cool to have somewhere that's actually yours that you can I can paint the walls finally, so yeah, it should be good.
Now, we're talking apartment, we're talking house, we're going to find you out in the garden with like a little kneeling board, pulling weeds out, that sort of thing?
No, not really. It's it's kind of like this, it's more got an apartment vibe, but it's just a really cool place, kind of chilled out and kind of tucked away, and I'm very, very secret, so yeah, it's good.
Yeah, we've got creepy neighbours as yet going, oh, I recognise that guy, I've seen him before.
Nah, and where I was living, there was actually a big, a lot of people had kind of immigrated over, so they had no idea who I was, which was great.
So stick yourself amongst the foreigners kind of thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
You mentioned no one recognising who you are. Do you ever find people are mixing you up between, X Factor or Idol and going, no, which one was he again? Which one was he? Did they say that to you? Do you mind?
Yeah, well, a lot of people come up to me and they're like, you're the kid that won Idol, hey? I'm like, nah. And I just walk off. It's like, I didn't. I'm not lying.
At least you don't have to then re-explain who you are. Now, you mentioned Rhiannon just before.
Yes.
I just got a couple of questions. Now,
Okay.
You're an incredibly romantic guy. Now, looking through your CD sleeve notes, do you remember what you wrote about her? Because, oh man, I teared up.
Kinda, I remember.
Do you want me to read it?
Okay, go on.
Okay, I've got it here. Okay. You mentioned her saying, you have only been a small chapter in my life, but an amazing one. If the pages keep going, I will be the happiest man alive.
I'm pretty cute.
Are you a flowers guy? Are you a notes guy? Or is it all kind of inside? She helps.
Well, you bought a house.
Yeah.
True. No, we just, I actually just gave her first flowers on Valentine's Day. I've held off till Valentine's Day. She's never, ever gotten flowers. So I bought her flowers and got my roommate to kind of scatter them around and stuff. So, but yeah, I don't think we really have heaps of time to be heaps romantic. She was really cool on my on birthday though. She put so much effort into it. So yeah, that was a cool one.
Talk about your music just briefly, your new album. You've written everything.
Yeah, it's a big thing for me. I like writing my music. It's because then when you sing it live, it makes more sense and it feels better for you.
And it calls to you. That's the thing. When you've written something, it calls to you inside. Does that make a difference when you're performing songs from your first album to your second album on stage?
Yeah. I think with the first album, the thing was I still love these songs for a reason, and me and Guy picked them for a reason, and they do mean things to me, but this album is me. It's not that they mean things to me, that's actually what I've written and what I have felt. So that I think the second album definitely is way cooler to sing live, because especially when you hear people singing it back, you're like, now it's like to them what I was doing in the first album.
So take us to you're on stage and you're singing your songs and you're looking at the people in the front row and you can hear them singing your songs back at you. That just must be the biggest buzz in the world.
Yeah, I remember the first time it happened when we were on the last tour and they were doing Good Night. I was like, this is nuts. It was crazy. But it's awesome when you hear them sing stuff like Stars and stuff like Timeless, because they're kind of really emotional songs as well. So yeah, it's just awesome to see kids getting into it.
And they learn the lyrics really quickly. I'll go to a concert and I always get stuck behind somebody that knows every single word of every single freaking song, and they must spend hours going through your lyrics, learning them and listening to the songs over and over again. That's you.
So, some of them aren't so good.
Does that bother you?
No, it's funny. I've seen some YouTube videos where the words are completely wrong, and it's great. I love it. It's so funny.
So you don't mind the tributes that pop up on YouTube or the people who write on your Facebook page and they've written their own versions?
No, it's kind of a compliment, I guess. But yeah, it is funny when they get the words completely wrong.
You mentioned your new single, Timeless. Tell us about the process of writing that song.
Timeless. We were in the studio actually for like 12 hours straight because normally I block it out and we'll do like 5 hours and then go back in. But with Timeless, it was like if we leave it and come back to it, it's not going to be the same song. So we just pushed through, and yeah, I love that. One's one of my favourite songs I've ever written, and it's just got like a rawness about it. It doesn't really dance around the subject. It's just dead on what it should be, and yeah.
When it comes to talking music, if you had to have one song that would best describe your life so far, it doesn't have to be one of yours, just any song out there that sums up your life in a song, what would it be?
Oh God, that's a hard one.
Yeah.
Probably Paradise City. That's probably one of the best ones.
What an awesome song!
Yeah, it's been pretty good. So Paradise City would probably make sense.
I mean, you've got a pretty sweet life right now, haven't you?
It's not bad. It's not bad at all.
Every time we see you got more ink, I see, we've just about fully done the left arm now, looking fantastic.
It's nearly done.
What's still to come?
The rest of this arm.
Yeah, what else are you adding to it? Because, I mean, I can see a microphone, I can see, hang on, turn over there, you've got, is that kind of a cool, funky skull kind
It's
of thing?
Jack Skellington
Okay.
from A Nightmare Before Christmas.
And then you've got a watch, and you've got a skeleton, and this art here.
That's the Appetite of Destruction album cover, the Guns N' Roses album cover.
I should have recognised that, that's embarrassing. And the Forever Flying Home.
That's a couple of my mates have it back in Adelaide, and we all kind of fly about all the time. So it's a sparrow, which is the only bird that always flies to this same place. So we got Forever Flying Home.
Tattoos are addictive, eh?
Yeah, I've probably got to slow down, to be totally honest. Yeah. I don't think I've had a tattoo. No, I've had one tattoo whilst I've been 18. So I've been quite good since then.
No, that is addictive. I've only had one. When it comes to your little rockers, your fans who just, they love you, they're inspired by you, and you are obviously massively inspired by them. Can you tell us about your best fan experience and your worst fan experience?
I don't know if some of these are appropriate. One of them, I'll tell you one from the other day, was we were singing like Shove and Kiss Me or something like that. And when all the kids were jumping at the same time, we had this really bad punter barrier. Like, it was just literally pieces of metal. And the guys were holding them up and pushing them back, and they just kept pushing, and it was all over the place. And they kept jumping up and down, and the wood from the platform just kind of collapsed.
Uh-oh.
And like 3 or 4 of them just fell down a little bit.
No. Were they okay?
They were fine. They actually got back up and started jumping again. So they were sweet, but it was pretty crazy from where I was standing as well, because there's a big hole, and I was like, that's not good.
I mean, did you stop everything and check that they were all right, or was it just party on, carry on?
I stopped singing and kind of looked in and saw if they were all right, and they were smiling, and I was like, oh, do I stop it? And then they got out, and I was like, yeah, that'd be sweet. They look after each other, so it's good.
If we were to now go to, say, your house or whatever hotel you're at the moment, we opened your bedside table, or we looked on your bedside table, what's the thing you always take with you on your bedside table?
The police's phone number, I think.
The police. I always bring this with me. This goes everywhere with me on tour.
Okay, so it's a special...
So Reece is showing us your necklace. Yeah.
This is Rhiannon's got the ring, the exact same ring of it, and I got it actually in Auckland.
Oh, yes.
And yeah, every time I come here, I take this with me, and she carries hers, and then yeah, it's just a way of us not being too far away, I guess.
This is the 2012 version of a Share a Heart pendant, essentially. Two halves of the same thing.
Yeah.
But cooler.
Yeah, cooler.
Way cooler. If we were to ask her what your worst habit would be, what would she say?
I always kind of wake her up at like 2 o'clock in the morning and ask me to make me food.
You're right, that would be annoying.
And does she?
She does. She's like, but she does the whole like, I'll be a good wifey and I'll go get your food. And I'm like, that's awesome. She's so good.
Cool. Can we please organise an interview with my wife and Rhiannon to spend a bit of time together? Because that sounds outstanding.
I think I could probably hook that up.
Finally, I've just got one more question. I want to know if we were to put you, I know that obviously you originally were discovered through X Factor, but if we were to put you in any reality TV show, you could choose any in the world you could be put into, what would it be?
I've thought about doing Big Brother. Like, I think I'd be probably pretty good and I'd know people. But I'd love to do I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here.
Sweet, it looks fun.
Yeah. Except I wouldn't eat anything.
Yeah, the whole being in a jungle thing, being dropped in thing, kind of not interesting for me. It's like Survivor. I want the food.
Yeah,
you know?
True.
Yeah. Or at least someone to make it for you at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Reece Mastin, have fun at your show tonight. Thank you so much for spending a bit of time. You know, like I say, we've interviewed you a couple of times. You promised we'd be able to meet you face to face when you came down here this time, and you come through, and we appreciate it. Thank you.
It happened. We got it done.
Sweet.
For more, hit classichits.co.nz.